Hello, everyone. Chaotic.Neutral here to talk about a topic that's long overdue for some serious discussion. It's time to talk about anti-griefers. Part 1. What is an anti-griefer? Let's be clear who we are referring to here. An anti-griefer is someone who specifically seeks out and kills griefers. Defending yourself when attacked does not make you an anti-griefer, nor does spawn killing somebody because they destroyed your cargo or something. An anti-griefer specifically targets anyone who kills other players, destroys cargo, or anything else that they deem griefing. We'll talk more later about why their definition of griefing is both wrong and unfair. To be considered an anti-griefer, you must possess a comically inflated sense of self-righteous hatred towards griefers. You must believe that by trying to prevent other players from engaging in PvP in an open-world game, you're somehow doing the world a service. Part 2. Why anti-griefers are bad. First off, let's keep something in mind. GTA Online is a PvP game. Public sessions contain other players, many of whom may be hostile. That's what makes Grand Theft Auto the kind of game it is. It's full of criminals and dangerous psychopaths, not friendly hand-holding hippies and bubble-wrapped safe spaces. All that being said, it's still possible to totally avoid any possibility of confrontation with others. Players have the option to play in invite-only sessions to avoid hostile players, and they can even let their friends and crew members join them if they want company. Even before it was possible to do cargo missions in invite-only sessions, it's always been easy to glitch yourself into a solo public lobby by various means. So, PvP in this game is, by nature, consensual. Anyone choosing to play in a public session gives implied consent to engage in PvP in the same way that anyone who drives a car in real life gives implied consent to be pulled over by the police and questioned if they exhibit dangerous behavior. You have the ability to quite simply opt out of PvP entirely if you're worried about being griefed, just like how you can choose to not drive if you're worried about wrecking or getting speeding tickets. This game isn't even like Dark Souls, where you have to allow hostile PvP in order to play with your friends. You can literally just invite them to your game to grind, drive around, or whatever else you want with no downsides whatsoever. By this logic, an anti-griefer interfering with PvP situations because they don't think they should happen, or to punish those who start them, are preventing a fair, consensual, and arguably necessary game mechanic from occurring. Anyone who anti-griefs attempts to rob players of the ability to take part in an integral part of GTA Online. PvP and even griefing isn't something that was ever intended to be disabled or removed. The game itself encourages you to attack other players. Part 3. Why anti-griefers fail at anti-griefing. We've discussed why anti-griefing is, by itself, a bad thing to do. To make matters worse, anti-griefers don't always target actual griefers. These uninformed individuals go after anyone they see killing other players or destroying cargo, regardless of their reasons for doing so. Imagine this interaction with a low-level player. You drive by them, spin your tires, and maybe honk your horn a few times to let them know you're friendly. Then, they kill you. And after you respawn, you call in a tank and spawn kill them to teach them a lesson. This situation plays out fairly regularly. Newer players are often aggressive and don't understand how bad of an idea it is to attack high-level players, but they quickly find out. Maybe in the future, they'll be less aggressive as a result of this interaction. Now imagine there's an anti-griefer in your lobby. They see you killing the low level, and to them, you're a griefer and a target. They speed towards you in a jet, destroy your tank, and start spawn killing you. They may even use mods to kill you or crash your game if you're on PC. If they're a tryhard, they might talk shit and screenshot their final score on you and post it on the internet, calling you a noob and a wannabe. The anti-griefer, a supposed protector of the weak, and defender of the innocent, has just become an agent of injustice. They have denied you your revenge and encouraged the low level to continue attacking other players. There are many other situations where these players could have the opposite of their intended effect. Imagine you're sourcing cargo, and someone kills you and destroys it. After killing you a few times, they leave. Later, in the same session, you notice them start a cocaine sale. It's time for revenge. They destroyed your cargo, and now it's their turn to pay the price. However, in the time between your cargo getting destroyed and the griefers starting their sale, an anti-griefer has joined your lobby. He doesn't know what they did earlier. He checks his map and sees you moving towards the griefer. He knows what you're about to do, even if he doesn't know why it's justified. He job teleports to his facility and orbs you. Your vehicle is destroyed, your revenge is denied, and the griefer makes his sale. Then they both attack you, and 2v1 you, spawn killing you in an unfair fight until you eventually rage quit. In the anti-griefer's eyes, this entire situation is justified, righteous, and admirable. His ignorance has caused him to inflict harm on a normal player and help a griefer, but he doesn't know this. Here's yet another situation. You and your friend enjoy PvP. You go to the beach and start fighting each other. You kill each other many times, but you're a better shot, and over time, you get more kills on your friend than he does on you. You're lighting up the kill feed with his deaths, but you're both having a good time, and you continue anyway. During your fight, an anti-griefer joins the lobby. He doesn't know that you two are friends. He doesn't know that you're having a 1v1 for fun. He sees you killing your friend's character. To him, this looks like griefing. He uses Ghost Organization, goes to the beach too, and attacks you. He kills you many times, and since you're on the beach, you respawn so close to him that you can't get away. Regardless of what you and your friend do at this point, your 1v1 is over. The anti-griefer has interfered and ruined the vibe. You can't even team up with your friend against him because he's off the radar, so you both just leave. Once again, the anti-griefer's ignorance has caused unjust harm to other players. He hasn't done anything good. He hasn't prevented harm to innocent players. He's little more than a griefer with delusions of righteousness, a false paragon enforcing made-up rules and intruding on other players' business. Part 4. Why Antigriefers are Hypocrites. Antigriefers claim to hunt griefers, but they have no idea of the context behind the supposed griefers' actions. They claim to protect other players, but they don't see any difference between someone defending themselves and someone griefing. Anti-griefing in GTA Online is the equivalent of watching somebody shoot a would-be mugger and then killing them because they murdered someone, or seeing somebody get pulled over by the police and attacking the cops because they're stealing the drugs that they found on that person after searching them. Anti-griefers are dangerously uninformed, sickeningly self-righteous, and woefully ignorant. They are just as harmful as the griefers that they claim to hunt, and worse, they believe that they're heroes for doing so. Anti-griefers are just as bloodthirsty and aggressive as griefers, but they choose to hide their true nature behind a fraudulent veneer of justice. At least griefers are honest about their intentions. They just want to kill players and destroy things. They make no attempt to convince anyone otherwise, except maybe as a joke. Anti-griefers want the same things, but try to deceive others into thinking that they're protecting people or somehow making GTA safer, when they're actually having the opposite effect. Part 5. Why anti-griefing is pathetic. We've discussed why anti-griefers are ineffective at their supposed goals. We've discussed why they're hypocritical and deluded. What we haven't talked about is this. Even if they did everything they intended to do, effectively and fairly, and without innocent players getting caught in the crossfire, they would still be fighting on the side of people who hate them. Grinders hate tryhards. They hate PvP. If it was up to grinders, there would be no PvP in GTA Online at all, and everyone would just grind cargo all day. They constantly whine about literally everything that's used in PvP. Sniper rifles, jets, armored cars, the orbital cannon, tanks. I've seen grinders complain ad nauseum about these things, and there have even been petitions to remove them from the game. They destroyed EWO. They got KD more or less removed. They got the Oppressor nerfed to hell. They got Rockstar to let players do cargo missions in invite-only sessions. They freak out the second they see PvP, whether they're involved or not. Grinders hate everything Antigriefers stand for. They may appreciate their help on some level, at least when it actually does help, but it's the same kind of shallow appreciation that someone who votes to defund the police feels towards the cops who show up at their house to take care of a burglar who broke in. Ultimately, anti-griefers are assisting people who despise their existence and would remove them, and everyone like them, from the game if they had the choice. Their playstyle would not exist if it was up to grinders. I can't put enough emphasis on how sad, misguided, and downright pitiful it is to knowingly help people who are aligned against you. Anti-griefing in GTA Online is the same as a Second Amendment activist providing armed security to a ban all guns rally. By helping these people, they are actively working against their own interests. Part 6. Conclusion. With all this in mind, the only reasonable conclusion is that anti-griefers in GTA Online are a menace to all players. They attack without provocation like a griefer, but they do so as a pointless, twisted attempt to enforce justice in a lawless world, their judgment clouded and perverted by their own ignorance. Grinders don't like them because they hate PvP. Griefers don't like them because they interfere with griefing. Tryhards don't like them because they mistake them for griefers. Anti-griefers are, arguably, the lowest form of player inhabiting this game. While their claims of righteousness may deceive some, do not let yourself be fooled by their mask of morality. These players are just as dangerous and delusional as the most depraved griefer, and would kill your character without a second thought if they decided that you're a target, all the while preaching their own virtue. Part 7. A Call to Action. I call upon all self-professed anti-griefers to come clean and be honest about your motivations. Drop the masquerade of justice and admit that you just want to fight other players. And that's alright. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with wanting to enjoy PvP in this game. But stop defending people who hate you. Stop helping the grinders. If it was up to them, you wouldn't be able to fight anyone at all, ever. Join the honest side, the side that makes no false claims about their desires. Join the griefers, and start enjoying this game for what it truly is.